Bloomberg Audio Studios. Podcasts, radio, news.
The Stock Movers Podcast, your roundup of companies making moves in the stock market, harnessing the power of Bloomberg data.
Well, let's take a look at some stocks on the move this week. We've got a Bloomberg News managing editor for Markets Live, Christina Kino, here in the Bloomberg Business Week studio. What is on your radar?
Well, I'm looking at UnitedHealth, Tim. I mean, that is a historic decline, down more than 23% at the moment, the most in 26 years in 1998. And its value wiped by $115 billion. That's because it's
massive.
It's massive, yeah. That's a big loser today, for sure.
Yeah, biggest decliner in the S&P 500. Keep going. It's something we've been talking about certainly on this Thursday.
Yes, exactly. And, it is all due to its annual forecast cut and the fact that it reported its first earnings miss in more than a decade. And even its CEO, Andrew Whitty, saying that the performance was, quote, frankly, unusual and unacceptable. President Trump name-checking UnitedHealth as well earlier in comments citing its decline as one of the reasons for the stock market falling today.
Well, I mean, if you look at the Dow, that is true because it's one of the components of the Dow. The Dow's, we're doing this on Thursday afternoon. The Dow down 345 points, 0.9%. The S&P 500 is higher and the NASDAQ is higher. So he does have a point if you're just looking at the Dow.
Yes, specifically at the Dow then.
Yeah, it's 7% of the Dow Jones Industrial Average. So when it tanks, it's going to pull down the index. Where do you want to go next?
Well, let's talk about Eli Lilly. In terms of the big gainers today, that's up more than 16%, primarily because of a study showing that its experimental pill potentially creating a rival for Ozempic in trials. Some very promising results there, though we still have a ways to go. Its main obesity trial won't wrap until at least July. So that's the main one to watch out for in terms of whether it will be a viable competitor to Ozempic.
It's kind of like the holy grail, I feel like, for GLP-1, right? That you can take a pill, pop a pill in rather than take a shot.
Yeah, certainly a lot easier,
I stay away from needles, just so you know.
I don't like pills. I'm not a pill taker. I could never be a druggie because I can't take pills.
Pills are easy compared to shots. You got to do a shot?
I couldn't do pills either. That's why I want the, you spray it in the air.
Yeah, okay.
You go after it. A global payments company and the global payments area is certainly on our radar too.
Yes, absolutely. Quite an interesting story because it's an M&A story, right? The first one in a while that we've seen is basically global payments acquiring WorldPay for more than $24 billion from FIS and GTC are very divided in terms of the reaction. FIS investors really liking that. That's up nearly 10% on the day. Global payments, meanwhile, falling more than 15%. So yeah, and the reaction to that deal, quite mixed. Bloomberg Intelligence saying that the purchase will allow global payments to beef up its scale, but then some analysts on the street saying it's going to take some time for this deal to create shareholder value.
Interesting.
That one wasn't even on my radar today.
I think what's interesting is that there's actually a deal that was done.
Yeah, I mean, this unlocks quite the logjam that we've had. We've had a quiet M&A market up until we got this deal, and it's quite a blockbuster deal. $24 billion. That's not nothing.
The Stock Movers Podcast from Bloomberg Radio. Check back with us throughout the day for the latest roundup of companies making news on Wall Street. And for the latest market-moving headlines, listen to Bloomberg Radio live. Catch us on YouTube, Bloomberg.com, and on Apple CarPlay and Android Auto with the Bloomberg Business app.